Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Welcome to Citizens Gaming, and today we're having a look at the brand new map, Tanoa. Tanoa has been a, well, let's say, very anticipated map for Arma 3. It has been something that everyone's been excited for, as it's currently the only thing that will, I think, bring life back into Arma 3. So, without further ado, with me right clicking on the screen, let's go and have a look at the new map. As we can see, Georgetown, which is now the what I believe is the capital city, as you can see here, has a lot of new buildings, a lot of skyscrapers, a lot of ambient objects, I guess you could say. These objects that fill up the screen to give it a nice aesthetic look. If we have a nice detailed look at one of these buildings, you can see that we've got a shit ton of new entrable buildings where, more action can be taken, which will lead to, just a better overall gameplay for everyone. As we all know, Arma has a very large variation in things that you can do, from life service to survival to general military simulations, which I also play. On my channel I play 2 of those, and I think that so far it's looking pretty good. It looks like here we've got a supermarket. Looks pretty interesting. Like, we've never had this amount of detail on any other any other map. Look at this. As we also see, this was some nice new civilian buildings. Looks like these aren't enterable. Let's have a look. No, they're not. Wow. Let's look at that detail. It does really look beautiful. If we head over to the airport right here, this very beautiful looking airport, I must admit. You got your arrivals, you got your departs, is that how you say it? Isn't it departures? I'm pretty sure that's how you're supposed to say it. This is a quite nice terminal building. It's even got, it's a bit of a weird place to sit, I would say, a little bit boring, but I don't know what you could really do in here. Oh, I just love this attention to detail. It's just, even these little things, as these garbage cans right here. Stuff like this just really adds to the environment. Yeah, and even look at this. You got your little taxi spots here. Like, I've never seen this amount of detail in Altus or Stratus. I can't believe they even added stuff like this. A little I don't know what you call them. I know they use them in the States. These pay meters. You pay, let's say, $5 US, and it'll last you 6 hours or so where you can park there. Let's head over to this beautiful hangar. Just absolutely beautiful. Look at this detail. I can just imagine the gunfights and the RP that can happen in an area like this. People always underestimate what buildings actually have. Sorry, what the effect buildings have on a server. Just nothing extraordinary about the runway. Just a normal runway. I see they've added added a new texture for the runway. It looks a lot nicer. I would have said it was just a average runway, but it's a lot more beautiful. For people who play TAC Ops or Milsim servers, stuff like this, if you're playing as a pilot, really adds to the environment. It's also nice to see there's like this runway has been used a lot through these tire tread marks from when the planes land and take off. Honestly, I don't know why these would be here unless a plane's really doing, like, this is where you're normally supposed to land. You see right here, these 2 blocks. That's where you're supposed to land. That's where you're supposed to hit between... Actually, I think it's between these two. I'm not a pilot, so... Even though I do pilot for tank ops, between these two marks you're supposed to land. So if you're landing down here, I don't think you're going to stop in time. Let's have a look at this little shanty town, I guess you call. I won't call it a shanty town, but this rundown village. Also looks like you can enter these buildings. Anything in here? Nope. It is really beautiful. You can really feel the atmosphere as soon as you arrive. What's this? Looks like... Whoop. This looks like some sort of factory. Really nice. Just look at this. It's just the visuals. And I've not dropped any FPS yet in any place that I've come by, which has made me very happy so far. Let's take a quick shimmy down here. Just come across more and more of these buildings and factories. Well, my text is on, but there we go. I know this is one of the new assets they added in for people, you know, for the environment. It's just very well. Look at that. Even though I think it's just because my textures are currently they are not on Ultra. If they're probably on Ultra, they'll probably look really nice, but. Just, you can see that a lot of work has been put into this. You know, like these objects aren't very useful in terms of what they actually do, but to add stuff like this, so we get the feel of what the environment is and what's happening in the surroundings around us, this is doing brilliantly. You can definitely tell this is some sort of extraction site. I don't know if I don't know what exactly this is. I would say maybe. Let's have a look. This looks like I don't know what. Maybe a gold extractor. I don't know if anybody's what Gold Rush or anything like that. Don't like the series, but you know what I mean. That you know, maybe stick the ore down here, goes up there, comes into this, gets sorted out, and goes through this. I'm not too sure, but definitely looks very interesting. So right here I've just found this little town. It's quite nice. What town is this? Let's have a look. We're currently in Tanoa. I think that's how you spell it. I mean pronounce it. But there was something that I really want to show you. In Kavala and Altus, as we all know, Kavala is a very plain city. You know, there's one building after another building. It's obviously the same. You got buildings after buildings. But stuff like this adds to the atmosphere. Coming down this little side alley, you just got these piles of rubbish. Something like this just makes the game so much nicer. That's where my text is downloading. And as we see here, this is one of the extraction sites that we've all seen in the trailers. And you can definitely tell it's an extraction site by the these heavy loading vehicles, and just by the how the terrain has been stepped into the hillside. It really just looks so beautiful. While exploring, I've currently come across this lovely industrial site. It is absolutely beautiful. As we can see on it right here, you've got some sort of it looks like the HQ of some sort of company. Got all this ore material right here, but to my left is what really makes me smile. Look at this. This is beautiful. You know, this might not be very practical, but it really adds to the environment. As I've said so many times already, there's so much detail in such a small area. Right up here, this is the most iconic part of Tanoa that every person is going to be familiar with. Not this outpost on top of this hill, but it is the Tanoa volcano. Let's see what it's called. It's called Mount Tanoa. Not surprising, but this is very big. As we all know, Arma 3 can be a quite intensive game from its CPU and graphics terms. There's a lot of debate on whether Arma 3 is a CPU intensive game or graphics card intensive game. I'm currently running a GTX 560, which is, believe it or not, the recommended graphics card for Arma 3. So, what I've worried about this map ever since they announced it was that it was going to be a jungle, and will my GPU be able to handle it? So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go load up a guy with a ghillie suit. I'm going to stick him in the forest, and first we'll see how hidden these characters are going to be, and whether or not my GPU can keep up, or my CPU can keep up with the latest vegetation while recording. I'm currently running at about ground level 30 FPS. So I'm here in the middle of the Tanoa jungle, and I've come to test out the how useful these ghillie suits actually are. I'm currently wearing the vanilla one, which I mean by that is that you do not need the DLC to actually use this ghillie suit. So as you can see, this ghillie suit isn't really built for this type of vegetation. You know, it's pretty. I'd say it's just very light. You know, this ghillie suit, I wouldn't say blends in very well. I'd say it do the job for most people, but I'd feel like just for player experience, it wouldn't be the most useful item. Over here, I've spawned in some AI, and straight away we can see some major problems with it. But remember that Tanoa is, not Tanoa, the Apex update is still being built, so these are things that might still be fixed. But until then, we're gonna hope there will be. As we can see, that these ghillie suits are way too bright. It looks like they're actually not in the shade at all. So, apart from that, you know, I don't know, I'd say these ghillie suits would be more used for this type of terrain, maybe for the darker green ones. I think maybe this one or this one. I don't know about that one, but looks like more of a deserty camouflage. But like I said, it looks like they haven't been properly modded in for the new for the new map. As the shadows aren't falling onto them. But apart from that, I'd say that at the moment it's not doing too good. But for all we know, there might be some more ghillie suits to come for when the server. I always keep saying server for some reason, but when the update comes out. So if we have a look right here, this looks pretty cool. Looks like, I don't know, some sort of school, I would say. You know, I currently live in Zimbabwe, and this is basically how the rural schools are set out. We've got these long buildings where the classes are. Yeah, to me, this is what would classic, you know, third world school would look like. As you can see, by the detail, you can see this area is not actually connected by any power lines. The detail of actually adding these solar panels right here adds so much sense. And we found one of the other airports in Tanoa. As we got these classic hangars that have been around for a very long time in the Arma series. Now the older ones have obviously got the doors that come down, but these are the ones that we're used to from Arma 3. But funny enough, we only see this hangar on the northern part of Altus Airfield. So we can see some sort of like marshland right here. Nice and interesting. Really does look beautiful. Looks like we're back at the area where the airport was, so I'm guessing Georgetown's just back over here. What I'd like to do is actually have a bigger in-depth look at Georgetown. So let me spawn in a character, then we can have a quick drive around and actually see what Georgetown has to offer. As you can see, I currently spawned in Hatchback Sport, just a little bit south of Georgetown, so we can quickly drive in and see it from basically if you started. Have a look what Georgetown looks like. I don't know why everything's flashing like this. Let me see if it happens when I get outside the vehicle. No, it just looks like something when first person inside the Hatchback Sport. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Hopefully it'll be fixed by the time Tanoa comes out. But for now, let's go and have a look. As you can hear, this is that lovely ambient noise in the background. It really does sound really nice. Really does feel like you're in that jungle atmosphere. Still currently at 30 FPS. Also just take in mind that I am recording, which does take 1 or 2 frames off. Something I've never seen in Arma before, a roundabout. Let's go and pop down by the supermarket. Stores be opened? Yes, they can. Oh, what's the noise? Another thing I wanted added was the noises that was added to the game. As we know, Altus and Stratus are quite quiet islands, but this one is definitely very different. As you can hear, you actually hear this AC running, which is pretty cool. Small stuff like this really adds to the game. I can tell you right now, this building is going to be a police station, any life server. You can just see it. These nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that noise isn't supposed to be here. Yeah, hopefully there'll be a new noise once the actual final product is out. It's nice to see those new bits and pieces, just to change up on how well, just basically how the game works. Whoops, apparently I don't know how to drive. So finally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull into the port of Georgetown and call it there. I don't want to go too in depth, even though I already have. I want you as the player to really explore for yourself. You know, if you haven't bought the Apex update, I really encourage you to do so, because I feel like you're going to be missing out on the biggest update Arma has ever had. So, let's just pull up to the... oh, listen to that. Listen to that beautiful water splashing against the side. Pull up to here. Let's take a run down there and get a final look at Georgetown. So here we go, Georgetown. The map, well not the map, sorry, Tanoa. The map that I feel like is the biggest thing Arma's ever going to have for the time being. And you know, with the latest weapons and vehicles to come out, with this new map, I do feel that we are in for a fun time for everyone, from life servers to the Milsim servers, to the survival servers. So, stay around, please remember to comment, like and subscribe. And as always, I will see you next time.